Hello students, welcome back. Jai Hind, very good morning. Welcome back to our quick revision session. As you all know that mostly we are trying our best to cover one chapter per lecture in QR. Understand? In previous lecture you have been given the revision for chapter number 1, that's chemical reactions, okay, that you have already attended. Now in today's lecture we are targeting chapter number 2, that is acid, base and salt. Understand? Now in this chapter what you need to first understand is that in this particular chapter some topics has been eliminated as per the board guidelines we got. Understand? I have sent you PDF. There are also some changes. So whatever topic I explain in quick revision lectures, you need to be you need to verify that this particular topic which are eliminated and this particular topic are included. You understood? So far as today you are attending quick revision for chapter number 2, that is acid, base and salts. Okay. Now in this particular chapter, before we start our revision lecture, okay, what you need to understand is that in this particular chapter few topics are already eliminated. Which topics are already eliminated? So if we just want to list out the topic which are included, understand? So the topic first, that is topic 2.1, that is included. Topic 2.1, that is in textbook the title is understanding chemical properties of acid and base. Okay, understanding chemical properties of acid and base. Okay, this is the first topic they have included. The second topic, that is topic 2.2, that is what is common between acid, what do all acids and base have in common, that is topic 2.2. What do all acids and base have in common? Understand? This is the second topic you have to prepare. The topic number 3 is topic 2.3. Understand, that is the strength of acid and base. How strong are acid and base solution? How strong are acid and base solution? This is third topic. Okay. And the fourth topic is about salts and the family of salts. These many topics are included for the board exam 2020-21 means the rest of the topic, that is chemicals formed from salt. This total topic is eliminated from our list. So we have to discuss and prepare these topics only in detail. Understand? Right? Four topic we need to discuss in detail. And my target is that it may happen that we are not able to take all four topics in one lecture. So we will plan in this way. We will discuss topic 1, 2 and 4. That is in one lecture, and the topic 2.3 which I need some more detailed explanation how strong are acid and base solution. For that may we have to deliver one more lectures. Understand? Now see, dear student, if we start our discussion about topic number 1, that is understanding. Okay, understanding chemical properties of understanding chemical properties of acid and base. If we target this particular topic in our material, I have given some list of some physical properties of acid and base. Understand? But that's a general discussion regarding acid and base. If you target chemical properties of acid and base, that means, dear student, when you are discussing about chemical properties of acid and base, one very important aspect is regarding the indicators. Understood? And as you know, there are two types of indicators available. Some indicators show particular color change. Understand? And some indicator which are known as olfactory indicators, which show some odor change with acid or base. So two types of indicator you have to prepare. Understand? So dear student, when you are discussing about the chemical property, so that means this is very important for you to have some glimpse of indicators. In indicator also, you all know some indicator are natural indicators and some are synthetic indicators. Understand? Right? Some are natural indicator. You all know to list out some, the litmus solution, red cabbage leaves, etc. You can list it out. Synthetic indicator you have to particularly remember. One is phenolphthalein, phenolphthalein, okay, and one is methyl orange, right? These two indicators also show a particular color change with acid and base. They are actually prepared in laboratory, so they are called synthetic indicator. So natural indicators are litmus solution, as you all know. Litmus solution, then red cabbage leaves, okay. Means you can just remember all this. They are showing some color change with acid and base, and some are called, as you know, olfactory indicators. Understand? So olfactory indicators means those substances which shows some odor change with acid and base. To list them out, you all know onion, Okay, then as you all know, vanilla extract, understand, right? Onion, then vanilla extract, clove oil, etc. are used as olfactory indicators which show particular changes in the odor. And one activity also has been given for testing onion as an olfactory indicator where onion pieces, understand, shows odor change in presence of base, not in acid. Understand that activity has been given in textbook. One of the activity here, some other example are also there. Okay. Now here, dear student, what happens? To remember phenolphthalein and methyl orange, which type of color they imparts with acid and base. So my personal guidance is that you should remember this way. See, so that there may not uh, any mistake does not arise. Okay, suppose this way. Suppose uh, now suppose I take an example. For phenolphthalein, I am utilizing P. For methyl orange, suppose M. For acid, okay, I am writing this. Okay, I think this is only we require. What you need to remember is acid, phenolphthalein, methyl orange, APC, and A APC. Is it clear in your mind? And then you have to remember in methyl orange AP or AM. Understand the color you have to guess this way. Then base. One is APC and AMR. Then here you just put Y and here you put P. Okay. Now how you have to, because sometime it happens that in board exam when you have to quickly respond to the answer, you may not be able to see. Acid, impart, which color with phenolphthalein you see? Colorless. Acid, impart, which color with methyl orange red? AMR. Base, impart, which color with phenolphthalein pink? Base, impart, which color with methyl orange yellow? So this way you just remember APC, AMR, BPP, BMY. It becomes easy for you to remember the particular color change imparted by every acid and base with the different indicators like phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Okay, so this is some discussion about indicators. And now if we go and target some other properties of acid, understand the first one that is given, that is chemical reaction of acid and base. Understand, you all know the chemical property and we have discussed in detail, that is what chemical reaction of acid and base. If we target this now, this is some discussion about indicator, and now I am just short listing it. Reaction of acid and base with metal. What happens when acid and base react with metals? Understand, we are not going to discuss in quite detail the complete activity as you all know, but to list out in short, understand, I can say that when acid react with any metal, it produces salt and release hydrogen gas. Example you all know very well. Suppose I take one metal, zinc granule, and I add either dilute sulfuric acid or HCl dilute, obviously, to ensure the safety during the experiment. Metal, when react with dilute acid, it forms respective metallic salt, zinc chloride. Understand aqueous, zinc chloride, okay, and it release hydrogen gas, balancing you all know very well. So it is general explanation. Whenever any acid react with metal, it produces respective metallic salt and also hydrogen gas. Understand? There in activity they also explain that whenever any metal react with acid, a particular gas is produced, that is hydrogen gas. What are the testing measures? So as you all know, understand, regarding the hydrogen, you can make two observations. You will see some bubbles coming out in soap solution in other vessel that you have read in activity, and hydrogen starts burning with popping sound when burning matchstick is brought near it. Understand? So one thing is clear. When acid react with metal, it forms salt and hydrogen gas. To list out regarding base, understand, suppose you can also list out this way: base plus metal gives, understand, take an example, oxide and hydrogen gas. Instead of oxide, I can utilize the word salt. But reaction of base is not possible with every metal. Understand? Just take an example. Uh, Let us simply try to understand. You take any base, suppose NaOH, okay, and you react with suppose zinc metal, solid and aqueous. What is going to happen when sodium hydroxide react with zinc? It forms sodium zincate, Na2 ZnO2, and also release hydrogen gas. Understand? Balancing you can do from here to, okay, to hydrogen. You got it? Understand? So this way sodium zincate, you need to target on this formula also, and hydrogen gas is released. To speak in general, when acid and base react with metal, it forms salt and also produces hydrogen gas. Okay, but reaction of base is not possible with all metals. Understand? So this is a second property to list it out. Okay, now dear student, one more thing here. What you need to concentrate in MCQ, that this way they can ask one line answer. Whenever acid react, which are the product? The two products are there, salt and hydrogen. Understand? When base react with metal, which are the product? Two products, salt and hydrogen. So this way they can design MCQ, and here one particular formula, that's of sodium zincate, Na2ZnO2, that you should also target. Okay, so two properties we have discussed. Now let us move for the third one. We are actually still continuing the topic 2.1 only. Understood? I am not taking thorough explanation of the total activity, but basic you need to understand. Okay, suppose the third property, okay, if we target in this, what is that property? That is reaction of metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate. In textbook they have utilized the word metal hydrogen carbonate with acid. What happens? What happens when metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate, which you can also utilize the word metal bicarbonate, when react with acid, what can be the product? So just to list it out, suppose you take one metal carbonate, suppose I write sodium carbonate, okay? Or if you want to take metal bicarbonate, suppose I write sodium bicarbonate. When you react it with acid, suppose we take HCl, in both the cases, now when reaction take place, understand, between sodium carbonate or sodium bicarbonate and acid, the resultant product are three respective: salt, carbon dioxide and water. Here also NaCl, CO2 plus H2O. These are the products we get. Okay. Somewhat balancing if required, that you can do. Target this one, 3 oxygen. Understand that 2 oxygen. So that way, even if you target here 2. Okay, so I think here 4 somewhat this way you can target Na2CO3 plus 2HCl. Okay, yes, rather than going from here Na2CO3 plus 2 hydrogen, suppose you try to balance the 2, yes, easily it can be balanced. 2 HCl, 2 chlorine, 2, 2 sodium, understand, and oxygen atom 3 balanced. Here also you can target this way only 2. Okay, so 2 here, and hydrogen is also getting balanced. Okay, 2 plus 1, 3 hydrogen, and there 2 hydrogen atoms are there. So just in balancing need to be, I don't think we require for this, because hydrogen are automatically getting balanced. Okay, now see dear student, what they can ask in exam is that balancing, so you can learn anytime, that sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate when react with acid, they release three products, respective salt, carbon dioxide and water. These are three products. How will you test that the gas produced is carbon dioxide during the experiment? So you can come to know that carbon dioxide gas is produced. Carbon dioxide is in fact a colorless, odorless gas, cannot be tested quickly. But if you allow the gas produced, understand, through one test tube consisting of calcium hydroxide, understand, calcium hydroxide solution, then as you know very well, the moment carbon dioxide passes through calcium hydroxide, understand, immediately you will get the product CaCO3 plus H2O, and CaCO3 is solid, tiny white precipitate of this make this solution milky. Understand, that is actually the presence of carbon dioxide. This is aqua, this is gas, this is solid, and this is liquid. Okay, here also solid, solid, this is aqua, this is also aqua, this is aqua, aqua, whatever is produced, CO2 in gas form, this is gas, this is liquid. Understand? So what you need to remember is that whenever reaction take place between metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate, the product which is produced are three: sodium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. This can be asked in one line: which are the three products which you obtain whenever metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate react with acids? Three products are respective: salt, carbon dioxide gas and water. You understand this? Okay. So this is somewhat regarding the third property. Okay. Now if we want to study one another property under the same title, understanding chemical properties of acid, base and salt, let us take the fourth one, suppose. But that's very easy. Understand how do acid and base react with each other. Understand? That means I will just narrate in short: acid plus base. What happens when acid and base react with each other? So as you all know, when acid and base react with each other, they nullify each other's property and forms salt and water. This reaction is known as neutralization reaction. Here you can perform experiment of titration by yourself also, because I have already explained you that department. Understand? If you just want to list it out again, you all know this one. Understand? Acid, base, phenolphthalein here, methyl orange, RC and PY. You can make experiment of neutralization between acid and base by yourself. Suppose you can say in test tube. Suppose you have taken dilute HCl, okay, in test tube, and now if you add few drops of, suppose, phenolphthalein, the solution will remain colorless. Understand? Now if you go on, now if you take one another base, suppose NaOH. Now when sodium hydroxide base is added in this and you constantly go on stirring the solution, within short time this colorless solution, you all know base impart which color? This solution will become from colorless pink. That means the property of acid to remain colorless with phenolphthalein has been nullified and the solution turns pink because base is added. So this is called neutralization reaction. To mention it more, suppose NaOH plus HCl both react with each other and form salt and water. Understand? Easily and always aqueous for ensuring the safety. You understood? This is in dilution form. Understood? So this is neutralization reaction. Whenever acid and base react with each other, they form respective salt and also water. Is it clear in your mind? So this is fourth property, understood, of acid and base, reaction between acid and base. Okay. Now if we want to discuss one more property in this, that is, suppose, property number 5. So it can be summarized in two ways. First, reaction of metal oxide with acid, and then I summarize it in this way: reaction of non-metallic oxide with base. This way you have to explain it. First you note it down. What I have said: reaction of metallic oxide with acid and reaction of non-metallic oxide with base. Let us take suppose to understand it, that what happens when metallic oxide react with acid, understand. First, let us take an example. Suppose I mention CuO, copper oxide. Okay, in solid form, copper oxide, as you know, black black in color. Okay, now if copper oxide mixes with acid, suppose I mention HCl. Now when reaction take place between copper oxide and HCl, the solution turns greenish due to the formation of copper chloride, and it also releases at the same time hydrogen gas. Okay, a balancing can be easily done. Is it clear? So black colored, actually when these two mixes, solution is black colored, but now it becomes green due to the formation of copper chloride, means one salt only, no? Salt, understand, and water, H2O, liquid. Okay. So now what happens? See, try to understand this in this way. When black colored copper oxides react with dilute HCl, it produces green colored copper chloride salt and water. So ultimately try to understand what copper oxide has done. It reacted with acid and produced salt and water. So salt and water are ultimately product of the previous property we studied, that is neutralization reaction. Understand, that means one thing is clear, that here for making the salt and water, this oxide which react with acid is behaving like a base, means base plus acid, salt plus water. So that's why you can prove that metallic oxide are basic in nature. Understand? Metallic oxides are basic in nature. Clear in your mind? Suppose we take non-metallic oxide. Understand? Suppose that well-known example, calcium oxide. When react with some base, just now we have revised it, CaOH twice, aqua, and calcium oxide solid. Now when they both react with each other, which are the product, CaCO3 means precipitate in solid form and water. Actually what happened, try to understand, okay, this is base, okay. Calcium carbonate means salt and H2O, that means water. So by reaction of base with calcium oxide, understand, salt and water are formed. Again the product of neutralization reaction. That means if this is base, CaO must be behaving like an acid, because acid plus base, salt and water. So that's why you can say that non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Is it clear in your mind? Metallic oxides are basic in nature, non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Understand? There are some neutral oxide also to mention at this time. Neutral oxide, as well as some are amphoteric oxide also, as you all know. Some are amphoteric oxide. To mention some neutral oxide, NO, N, N, yes, NO, then NO2, H2O, etc. are called neutral oxides. Amphoteric oxide, one example you know, Al2O3. Neutral oxide does not show any type of character, neither acidic nor base, but amphoteric oxide shows both the property. They also react with acid and base and form salt and water. Means they show both the type of behavior, acidic behavior as well as basic behavior. Understand? So they are called amphoteric oxide. You understood this, right? So make one thing very clear in your mind, that topic 2.1, that means complete discussion about all properties regarding acid and base. Understand? So we listed out and studied all properties. First one, that is somewhat regarding the indicator. Then second one, that is regarding what happens when acid and base react with. Understand? The second property we discussed, reaction of acid and base with metal, then reaction of acid with metal carbonate and metal hydrogen carbonate, then reaction between acid and base itself, then the next property, reaction of metal oxide with acid and non-metallic oxide with base. So the five properties you need to prepare thoroughly. That's your, and any MCQ can be designed from this. Understand? Here they can ask what are amphoteric oxides. So those oxides which shows both the type of character, acidic as well as basic. So we can call them amphoteric oxides. Okay. Now see, dear student, after studying the topic 2.1, now our target is to study the topic 2.2. What do all acids and base have in common? It is simple topic, because ultimately we all know one thing very well, that all acids and base ionizes. Understand? Suppose we take the topic 2. What do all acids, all acids and base have in common? So dear student, when we discuss this topic in regular lecture, we have discussed it by showing all activities. Understand? Two activity, activity 2.8 and activity 2.9 also at that time. And at that time, one thing was clear in our mind, either it be acid or it be base. One thing is common between both these. If it is acid, it is going to ionize when its aqueous solution is prepared, and it will definitely release which ion? Hydrogen ion. That's final. But always in aqueous solution, that's compulsory. Acid does not release hydrogen ion. Understand? In dry, acid release hydrogen ion only in aqueous solution. Understand? Similarly, if it is base, then for base it is clear, when base ionize, obviously in aqueous solution, that's compulsory, wet solution, it releases OH minus ion. This is final for acid and base. Actually in your textbook there was no discussion about uh, Arrhenius theory of Svante Arrhenius theory of acid and base. Otherwise, he has defined chemically acid and base in this way only. He has said that any substance is acid when it is diluted in what means when its aqueous solution is prepared, it will definitely release hydrogen gas, hydrogen ion, and this will release hydroxide ion. This is common for all acid and all base. How it depends that some acid ionize completely in aqueous solution, they can be called a strong acid. Understand? And some acid does not ionize completely in water, so they can be called weak acid. Understand? Similarly, some base ionize completely in water, they are called strong base. Some do not ionize completely, called weak base. But either it is strong acid or weak acid, strong base or weak base. One thing is common for all acid and base, that's release of H plus ion and release of OH minus ion. There is in textbook one activity 2.8 where they have shown an electric circuit and bulb lights up where different solutions are kept in this. Either alcohol is kept in that, glucose is kept, acid is kept, base is kept. The bulb will light up only in case of acid and base because they release this ion in aqueous solution, which is an essentiality for the current to flow in the circuit, which can't be seen in case of glucose or alcohol, because in aqueous solution they do not release ions. Understand? So that's common. And one more thing, as in activity 2.9 we have seen, one thing is clear: acid no doubt release H plus ion and base no doubt release OH minus ion, but only in wet solution. Means in aqueous solution also, in activity 2.9 they have tried to explain this like, suppose you take NaCl. I think somewhat experiment is like this. Okay, here they have taken NaCl, and in NaCl H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4 is added, and reaction between these two take place, understand, and it release HCl gas, as you all know. Now when you keep dry litmus or wet litmus, suppose this is dry and suppose this is wet litmus, understand, and when it is brought in contact of this HCl, you all know that I have just now told you that acid only release H plus ion in wet solution. Means here this hydrogen chloride gas will create effect only on the wet litmus and not on the dry litmus. Similar experiment you can also perform with base also. Suppose you take NaCl, okay, and rather than acid, suppose you take some base, MgOH twice. Now when reaction take place between these two, understand, again NaOH gas is produced. This NaOH when come in contact with dry litmus or wet litmus, suppose this is dry and this is wet, it is going to create effect only on the wet litmus and not on dry litmus. That means both for acid and base, one thing is common, that is the release of the gas, release of the ion. For acid it is fixed H plus ion, and for base it is fixed OH minus ion. And dear student, remember one thing: hydrogen ion cannot exist independently. Understand? So it will always in aqueous solution, understand, immediately react with water and form H3O plus. So every time it is not customary to write H plus, but we have to write H3O plus. And understood? And related with this, that's a topic of dilution, as you all know. Dilution, you all know, dear student, how to make the acid little less stronger, understand, by addition of water. But what we are practicing in even in laboratory, how to prepare dilute acid or dilute base, we are not adding water in acid and base, but we are actually adding acid and base drop by drop in water to make a dilute acid or dilute base. And remember one thing: when in large amount of water you are adding drop by drop acid, what is going to happen? The acid when is dissolved in water, base when dissolved in water, they ionize, and because they ionize and disintegrate, so as you add more and more acid and base in water, the solution becomes diluted. That means the concentration of this two ion decreases during the process of dilution, as you all know. Understood? So dear student, in today's lecture we are able to cover these two topic. Topic 2.1 understanding chemical property and 2.2 what do all acids and base have in common. In next lecture we are going to target rest of the two topic where I want to discuss in detail about pH, and also we want to have some quick simple 6 to 10 MCQ type numericals of pH that we will target in our next lecture. You understood? So today you are actually attending QR1 for chapter number 2. Okay, acid, base and salt. So what you need to do is that two topics we have discussed in quite detail. So you need to prepare these two topics thoroughly. Understand, right? You revise them, write them once, all topic which are explained here. Okay? Thank you very much.